What's up? You're watching Vagabrothers.
And this is our guide to San Francisco.
Let's go. Good morning, Vagabuddies. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful day here in San Francisco. We're here for a couple of days, but we're gonna do our best to have the perfect day in San Francisco. What are we up to today, bro?
Well, we're currently starting the day at Ritual Coffee, which is a local roaster here in Hayes Valley, which is a cool little pedestrian area. There's all these sidewalk coffee shops. And although we were right around the corner from the Painted Ladies, the famous houses from Full House, we're gonna go try to show you the essence of the city, different neighborhoods, different historical sites, cool bars and restaurants. So that is the goal for the day. And so far we're starting off with this coffee. Everything's from Costa Rica. It's all direct trade Pura Vida coffee, and it's pretty good. So.
All right, well, let's get this adventure started, shall we?
We shall. We're gonna go to the founding birth spot of San Francisco.
Stop number one is the San Francisco Presidio. Just in front of us is the San Francisco Bay, the largest natural harbor in California. The Golden Gate Bridge and the entrance to the bay, known as the Golden Gate, is just over there. But this is where it all began for San Francisco.
Presidios were Spanish colonial military garrisons named because they preside over the area, and they were designed to protect the Spanish system of missions, which was the backbone of California. 26 missions from San Diego to Sonoma to our north. There were 4 military garrisons: San Diego, Monterey, Santa Barbara, and here in San Francisco. It was built in 1776, designed to protect from all enemies, but never fought a battle. It was eventually taken over by the United States military, which recently turned it over to the park system.
This is pretty cool. We've just stumbled upon actual archaeologists on a dig at the old Presidio site, and it says questions welcome, so I'm wondering if we can ask some questions. So what do you guys find down there when you guys are digging? What's like the most common artifact that you find?
The most common artifact that we do find, a lot of tile and like structural ceramic. So much tile, so it's just like, oh, more tile, more orange pieces. I mean, just look at this. There's the tile right there. There's the orange right there. Here's more right here.
Pretty cool to see this like going down right here. I remember being in elementary school back in San Diego and going to the Presidio in San Diego and having the opportunity to help archaeologists with an excavation. And I think that was like what really instilled in me the appreciation for archaeology, and one of the reasons why I studied anthropology and archaeology in college. So it's really cool to come here to the Presidio, see young, enthusiastic archaeologists digging up a bit of the past and trying to understand more about the foundation of this place. Most of what you see here is from the American period, after California was annexed by the United States following the Mexican-American War. But the fortunes of San Francisco and California as a state would change drastically in the year 1848 with the discovery of one important metal: gold. All right, well, our next stop is the Hyde Street Pier, and this is a great place to really get a grip on what happened here during the gold rush. In 1848, San Francisco had around 1,000 people. By the end of 1849, there were over 25,000 people. What changed was when a man named James Marshall on the South Fork of the American River, not far from here, found a large golden nugget. When Mr. Marshall found that large gold nugget on January 24th, 1848, he supposedly said, "Eureka," which means in classical Greek, "I found it," and is still the motto of the Golden State.
Gold prospectors came from all over the world, some by land, but most by sea, and San Francisco was a major port of entry for people trying to strike it rich. Gold fever was so strong that the sailors that brought the miners here also got caught up in the fever and left their ships here in the harbor, abandoned, creating what was known as the Armada of Golden Dreams. Many of the immigrants who came here are still known today. Levi Strauss started a dry goods store and eventually jeans, Ghirardelli, an Italian immigrant who made chocolate, and Wells Fargo, a bank that specialized in shipping gold bullion across the states from the mines. There's many immigrants whose names we never learned about in the history books, so to learn more, we're gonna head over to Chinatown.
Alright, well, we have just exited the cable cars, and usually on our channel we really encourage you guys not to do the touristy things, but when in San Francisco, most definitely ride the cable car. That was one of the coolest experiences I think I've ever had, man, honestly.
You are easily amused, but it was very cool. The cable cars are definitely very iconic, and so are these Victorian houses that we've been passing along the way. San Francisco is unique in the United States in that most of the city is the same style of architecture. It's a building style that started in the 1800s but really became uniform after the 1906 fire. Basically, there was a massive earthquake that ruptured gas lines and caused a fire that destroyed 3/4 of the city, displaced half the population, and killed thousands of people. It was rebuilt in this style that you see now, and there are still some historical bits from before, such as the place we're going right now, Chinatown. Now we're in Chinatown. Along with the 49ers came tons of immigrants from China, eventually making up 1 in 10 San Franciscans. But they were prohibited from mining on the basis of race, and so they built up a huge service industry around the mining community. Chinese quickly realized that in order to survive, they had to adapt Chinese culture to American tastes, especially with food. And on that note, it's lunchtime.
Okay, so we've ordered a little bit of everything. There's a bunch of different regional cuisines here, but we have some Cantonese style dim sum, we have some Taiwanese style chow mein, and we have some Cantonese style pork char siu, and everything looks incredible. And now we arrive to Marko's favorite period of time ever.
Well, we're jumping forward through a couple of decades, but we're right next to Chinatown here at City Lights Bookshop. In the 1950s, there was a generation of poets, writers, and bohemians called the Beat Generation, most famously Jack Kerouac, but also Allen Ginsberg, Ferlinghetti, a bunch of people. And they all kind of lived in Chinatown because the rents were cheap, and this bookshop was the center of their San Francisco Renaissance, kind of an alternative to post-World War II conformity of buying a white picket fence house in the suburbs. These guys were out here having fun. And yeah, so if you like On the Road, a lot of it takes place here in San Francisco, but more specifically, The Dharma Bums, Jack Kerouac's lesser-known novel, features a scene where all these poets came together for the first time at a poetry reading in a bookshop. This is the bookshop City Lights.
The world got strangers, it got bought and sold. The century died and left you out in the cold.
We're at Specs 12 Adler's across the street from City Lights Bookshop, and this is where a lot of those writers we were talking about used to hang out after poetry readings, or maybe before. But it's a cool spot. It's one of those bars where you see like a ton of different memorabilia, keep your attention for hours at a time, and the beer's not bad either.
It's one of those type of places where you can just drink all day long because it's dark, and it's gonna be this. It'll be this dark in here when it's actually dark outside. So it's one of those places where you can spend a long time sitting, thinking, drinking, and being creative.
I'll leave you guys with a recommendation. One of my favorite things is listening to Jack Kerouac read his writing over Steve Allen jazz piano. So there's one that starts off, "There was a little alley in San Francisco." I'm assuming he means this one right here. I'll leave a link in the description.
All right, so moving forward in history, we have moved to the neighborhood of Haight Ashbury, and we are at the former home of the world famous revolutionary rock band, the Grateful Dead. They lived in this house from 1966 to 1968. At the time they were known as the Warlocks, and we actually just had a moment to speak to the current owner. He said when they bought it, the place was totally destroyed. There were 30 deadheads living in this home. And the person who sold it to him said, if you buy this house, you will never find peace. But
There's a constant stream of people coming.
there is a constant stream
Just look at the tree.
of people coming here and paying homage to the Grateful Dead. If you do come here, be polite, be respectful, but pay homage. And don't carve your name into the tree, okay? You see that Jerry's been here, but obviously Jerry's been here.
This is the 50th anniversary of the Summer of Love, 1967, when the counterculture foundation that the Beatniks laid blossomed into full-scale alternative lifestyle here in San Francisco. Ever since then, since San Francisco has been a center of alternative culture in the United States, and we're right down the block from where the hippie revolution took place in 1967.
And then took over the world.
And it took over the world.
Started here and spread everywhere else. Perfect place to catch a sunset for your perfect day in San Francisco is Twin Peaks.
No, not the cult classic David Lynch show from the 1990s,
No.
the recent Netflix reboot, but the mountain, the center of the city.
Well, it's actually two mountains. That's why it's called Twin Peaks.
Okay.
All right, well, we've made our way down from the top of Twin Peaks to the Mission District, which is kind of like the Latino district. This is where the Mission was, and it continues to be muy Latino, which is great. So we are on our way to a restaurant which supposedly has the best burrito in the country. We're gonna do our due diligence here and make sure it's the best, if it is.
We are from San Diego, which means we're absolute snobs when it comes to Mexican food. We think we have the best burritos in the country. Let's see what it's like here.
This is the carne asada burrito.
Thoughts?
It's a good burrito. It's a good burrito. It's not the best burrito.
So there's definitely two sides to this neighborhood. There's what we just saw, and we're gonna kind of finish it up at one of the newer spots, the newer side of the Mission District, by getting a cocktail.
Pretty sweet day.
Pretty sweet city.
Epic city. Really dig San Francisco. Great vibes, beautiful architecture, cool people, and good restaurants and good bars. You can't really ask for too much more.
So maybe a little bit more clement weather throughout the year, but today was a really sunny day and we had a good time.
Bless you.
Bless you. I love SF. We gotta spend more time up here. I know that we did not cover everything. If you are a local or if you've been here and you have your own comments, throw them down in the comment section.
And enough of this SoCal, NorCal beef. We love you guys up here, honestly.
Yeah. So, God, I gotta sneeze again.
I think what he was about to say is, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe and turn on notifications if you have not already.
Give us your tips down in the comment section and we'll try to include it in a future video and hopefully come back here to San Francisco soon. So in the meantime, stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you guys
on the road. Peace.